Hi, my name is Christopher Nicholson. I'm Managing Director of ACF Equity Research. Interviewing with me today is Rinus Sadamad, our Head of ESG, and we are delighted to have the opportunity to interview our newest partner, Your Finance TV. The founders are with us today, Scott Duxbury and Mehdi Sundarji. And today we're going to find out what makes them different and their views on operating effectively in markets. Over to Rinus.
Thank you, Christopher, and welcome, Scott and Mehdi.
Thank you.
So I'll jump right in with the first question. Why don't you tell the viewers about Your Finance TV and what it is that you do?
Scott, if you don't mind, I'll jump in on this one. So, Rinus, thank you and Christopher for having us today. It's great to talk about these topics and our wonderful partnership we've now formed. So, Scott and I have always been around financial research. Our backgrounds are in equity trading and sales trading. But over the last several years, we've actually really lived and breathed financial research. We started working with more providers and we had built our own platform, a research marketplace, which kind of got us really into the depth of things. One thing we found that over the last several years, there's the written research, and there hasn't really been much change from any of the delivery of that content. From when we started in the business, it went from hand-delivered research reports to email. Not much since then. But one of the things that's been great is the introduction of video. And we've been creating more and more video content for research providers to tell their story. And it comes from all parts of it, whether you're introducing the firm or a particular analyst or to relay the message around a specific piece of research. That message gets out much more concisely and delivered to the investment community via video than it does by the written research. Now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean written research is going anywhere. The two work very well hand in hand, where a message can be delivered and then kind of backed up by that written research as well. So it all comes down to marketing your offering and building credibility within that investment community. And this message is much easier done via the medium of video. So that led us to set up Your Finance TV to be a channel devoted to any and all investment content within the investment community. This ranges from traditional broker-dealers, research providers, corporates, as well as asset managers. Everyone has content that the broader investment community is really looking for and cares about. And what better than a centralized channel like Your Finance TV?
You touched a little bit up on your background, both yours and Scott's, but I was hoping you could expand a bit more on your background within capital markets and financial services.
Absolutely. So we had, Scott had spent 20 plus, probably 25 plus years working on predominantly the trading side of the equities business, and myself on sales trading. I was in operations and marginally on the trading side, obviously not to Scott's levels. But when MiFID II was announced in summer of 2017 as coming to the market, where there was a segregation of research content and execution costs, we decided to kind of step into that space and create a solution for what were going to be some problems that we saw, in at least some road bumps in that community. So we built a platform called Nucleus 195, which is effectively like an Amazon for investment research. We took in content from whether it was independent research providers, broker-dealers, and allowed access to the investment community, whether retail or institutional, in a compliant manner to be able to access that research, whether a la carte, subscription, they could pay via CSA, RPA, soft dollar, hard dollar, however they want to pay for it. But it was one centralized marketplace to be able to access that broad-based research. And that's kind of what we've been living over the last several years. And that's what brought us to Your Finance TV. That deep dive into that research community has come full circle. And now we're doing video with all that content.
Talking of that, Mehdi, what I also wanted to ask you is you've got this deep experience of dealing with research providers. So why did you choose to partner with ACF Equity Research?
Well, Scott, I don't know if you want to dive into that one.
I'll grab that one.
Glory.
Yeah, you've been talking too much already. It's actually quite interesting because like similar to ACF, ACF was set up to improve the effectiveness of capital markets for smaller and mid-sized companies, right? It's Mehdi and I've worked with big banks, I've worked with smaller banks, and to see like the little thick bits of help that they need to get their message out there is what we really want to be doing on our side as well. You cover some great smaller companies which are trying to get their message out there, and that's what we're trying to do for corporates, asset managers, and research providers. There are some very, very smart people out there in the world like yourselves, and really finding out that value information that investors need to be looking at. And that's why we've come to partner with ACF Research. You have some great people working with you, and we want to help spread that message to the world.
Scott, that's great and very kind of you indeed to say so. I want to dig a little bit more into that. And given your seasoned experience, is it still your opinion that partnering with a quality product is important, and why is it important?
It is important. There's a lot of noise out there in the world, and that's one of the biggest challenges you have with research. I think the stats are 99.9% of research that's published each day and lands in people's inboxes aren't read. You have to differentiate that stuff, find the differentiated research. Mehdi and I see a lot of different content come across our radar every single day. And we've seen what ACF does and produces. And as I touched on there before, high quality people, high quality product. And that's why we wanted to partner with ACF.
Thank you. Renus, back to you.
Thank you, Christopher. Scott, so you touched upon ACF's mission about improving capital markets for small and mid-cap companies. How is your finance TV looking to help the small and mid-cap community?
We're going to play a little bit of tennis. I'm going to throw this one back to Mehdi.
All right.
Well, this is a great question. I like this one. Thanks for this one. And, I think Scott Ducks touched on this earlier as well. Everyone knows these large caps, right? The Amazon, Google, Facebook, or Meta, and other mega and large cap companies. We all know those brands. The smallest mid-cap community needs a voice, right? And we are that voice, whether to help in capital raises or simply raising their general awareness. Great companies can disappear if people don't know about them. So, hopefully we can help with getting that voice out there and the investment community learning more about them. And, we provide that voice in a compliant manner. We work with compliance departments and such to make sure there's no issues in the messaging that's going out to the public. And where the corporate's dealing with professionals from the finance industry, as well as having the wherewithal, we are that group that knows the finance industry, as well as having the experience and background in video editing and streaming and anything that you need in that video content delivery side of things. And it's quite a unique combination that we believe is unique to this market and truly delivers a differentiated product that's best fit for the investment community.
Thank you, Mehdi. And I think, that's great. I mean, the small mid-cap community needs individuals and partners like ourselves to look after them, essentially.
Absolutely.
So, guys, whoever wants to answer this, so why is video so important to corporates today?
Well, I'll take this one. Listen, video is the most powerful marketing tool out there, right? And it's not as if it's come up overnight. It's been gradually getting better through the years, whether it be through technology. But there's a big fear factor as far as people using video, being on video, not knowing how to prepare videos, not how to where to distribute it. This is why corporates need to be using this. If you're not, if you can go back to websites, right? If you don't have a good website, that's the first place an investor looks at when they're talking about a corporate. So have a good website, have a video message. It's the easiest way to update clients. Clients may see an email come through, or investors have an email come through, and you've got this whole long email. But if you can tell the story in 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 5 minutes on a video, they'll watch that. There's plenty of statistics out there to show that and prove that. Now, high quality video content, listen, you don't need to be spending $50,000, $100,000 on putting a video together. We see that. We produce high quality content at a low cost. So we accommodate different clients when their budgets are tight. You need to be using video today. Now, if you don't have a big social media following, well, you use our platform where we can spread it out over our network. I'm not saying that we have 1 million followers or anything like that, but we have a high focused finance interested audience. It's growing every single day. But this is where we can help out ACS clients and other clients as well.
So, Scott, that's really interesting. I'm just wondering, is there any kind of marketing or academic research, and what does it say about video as a format in terms of how people are consuming it? And, who's using it and who insists on having it before they'll touch a piece of paper?
It's interesting. I think Cisco has by 2025 that all of 88% of internet traffic will be video. That's a massive number, and it's not shrinking, whether it be on using Reels on TikTok or Instagram and so forth. Like, that's the way the world's moving. The way that the average person consumes information. Yes, there is the old school style of it. And I fall into old school. I prefer to read, but video is where everyone is consuming everything. And I fall into it as well. You find yourself doing it. You'll be scrolling through, just watching videos on social media platforms. Now, most of that is comedy or sensational or framed or staged sort of stuff, but you are going to get to that point in finance where that's the whole thing. It's like, I want to learn about a bit more about numbers out in ABC, and you've got 4 or 5 different like little reels, and like you want to click into more, watch it, so it will happen. There are plenty of analytics and statistics out there which I can't pull off the top of my head, but this is the way forward. And I think every single person out there knows that video is the way forward. And you need to be using it to succeed in business today.
And so do you see it as a teaser or a lead in to enticing people to study a research product or a written research product? So they maybe go to the video first to filter, and then they want to dig in more deeply. So the two should be tied together. Is that a way you see it?
100%. There is the investor that wants to dig deep into the numbers of a company and doing their research. Then there's the investor who's like, I just need the broad overall picture. Great. You've got a 3-minute video for me. You've saved me reading through a 150-page report. Or you can have the whole video process done. Like, we're going to have the corporate sitting here. We're going to be talking to them. We take questions. So there's multiple ways it all goes together, but you definitely should have the report. And like, imagine this, you write a new report out for company ABC again, and someone's learning about this company for the first time. They don't know anyone who's sitting inside that corporate. But if you've got a nice couple friendly faces up there telling a story about themselves, 5 or 6 minute video, how much more impressive is that than just trying to read through a report?
Great. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, guys. So we'd just like to thank you very much, Scott and Mehdi from Your Finance TV, for joining us today and to help the viewers understand the benefits of combined investment research and video product and services together. And we would encourage anybody to come and check out Your Finance TV as one of our partners.
Fantastic. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Our pleasure, guys.
Thank you.